Hello everybody, Dan the Bugman here. We've got another do-it-yourself pest control tip today. Today's special guest is the biggest pest to ever be featured on my channel, the groundhog. These bad boys can weigh up to 15 pounds. I'm just glad that there's no bed bugs that big. Yes, not only does our company deal with bugs, we also deal with nuisance wildlife. Most of the time these are raccoons, skunks, possums, and squirrels. But every once in a while we get to catch groundhogs. These are my favorite. We recently had a customer call in about groundhogs and we've had great success getting them removed. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I caught and removed a groundhog from this property. It's actually super easy and I'm going to show you exactly step by step how you can do it yourself. The first step is to get the traps to catch the animals. We use these large live traps that are specifically designed for animals like groundhogs, raccoons, and skunks. This one is a double door trap, but the single door traps work just as well. As you can see, we are using both on this property. We check these traps every day to make sure they are working properly. When I stopped by to check the trap today, we hit the jackpot. This groundhog is a young adolescent, probably a few months old. We will call her Gerald, the groundhog. Gerald was lured into this trap with our top secret bait that I will now reveal, but only if you gently tap the like button. Alright, the secret combination is apples, carrots, and celery. Although every groundhog is different, but there is a good chance they will eat one of these. Usually, the carrots or apples are their favorite, but we usually throw the celery in there too because it gets me out of having to eat it myself. I think Gerald liked the carrots because there were none left when we got there. We always set up at least 2 traps to raise our chances of catching them. If you're planning on trapping animals, I would recommend at least getting 2 traps, if not 3 or 4. The trap on this other side, we were not so lucky, but I'm going to leave it open and set so we have a chance of catching one overnight, and I will check it again tomorrow. As you can see, these groundhogs have used this shed as their shelter point and main entry. Groundhogs always have multiple entry points. Some entry points are their main doors, and they always have 1 or 2 backup holes to exit from in case of an emergency. Within the tunnels, they build different chambers where they can sleep and store food. I would love to get inside and look at one of these groundhog tunnels. I can only imagine that they have a whole system of tunnels where they have a living room, a kitchen, and a groundhog disco room. So, what do I do with a groundhog once I catch it? Well, I keep all of the animals in my room and keep them as pets. I've now got 18 raccoons, 27 possums, and this will be my 15th groundhog. Not really, of course. Legally speaking, we take them to a private property where we have permission where the owner has at least 100 acres of property. As you can see, my truck was quite full of equipment and I didn't really want to be riding around town with a live groundhog in the back of my truck where everyone could see it. So I decided the only logical place to put it was in my cab. However, I'm soon going to regret not planning this out better. Luckily, I was able to fit it behind me with no problems, but Gerald had pooped all over the cage and it made everything smell like, well, groundhog poop. I had to suffer through this for the whole 10-minute drive, but I rolled down the windows and it wasn't so bad. So now that Gerald was all buckled up, I was in for a very awkward car ride. I've had some pretty weird first dates before, but this one stuck out the worst. She wouldn't even talk back to me. I just don't think younger groundhogs like me that much. She is pretty cute though. Maybe we will find love one day when our paths cross again. I can just tell by looking deep into her beautiful brown eyes that she was going to miss me. But sometimes, if you love something, you just have to let it go. We arrived at the 100-acre private property farm on the outskirts of town. We had our last moments together on this romantic walk to the back of the woods where I then set her free. Nuisance wildlife trappings are some of my favorite jobs. There's actually no telling what you're going to get into. Every week, more and more, it seems like we're catching more skunks, squirrels, raccoons, and possums, and all kinds of stuff. It seems as people are expanding into nature, the nature just keeps on adapting and learning to live with us. If you guys have any questions about nuisance wildlife trapping, just give a comment on the video. Overall, the most important part of wildlife trapping is just using the correct bait. You don't want to try to feed a vegetarian a piece of meat, trust me. As always, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time.